Hello my dear Hunties and welcome back to my channel. It is an amazing evening because finally I'm giving you my top 10 best and scariest horror movies of the 21st century, and I'm pretty sure you didn't watch at least 3 of them and didn't guess my number 1 because my top is really different from all the rest of them. So if you want to see all the trailers I created for you, choosing special and most interesting moments, then stay tuned until the very end because you also will get your dose of creepiness and even an idea of what should I watch tonight? Though here comes the moment of sadness, because if you're a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you have to quit watching this video right now, because I have to admit you, I hate scenarios based on meat and blood, and especially those when a blonde girl walks into the house and asks like, "Is there anybody home?" Probably hoping somebody to answer her,
"Yes, I'm here, I'm ready to kill you, I'm ready to murder you."
Come on, this is too silly for me. I'm a fan of great directing job, of the uniqueness of the plot, ghosts, haunted castles, houses and whatever else connected to exorcism, and the great plot based on the true story. In this video I will give a review of each of the movies of my top 10. Though it will be full of spoilers, don't panic, cause all the cherries and great endings I will leave it for you to dig. So let's move to my number 10. So my number 10 is Jennifer, not to be confused with Jennifer Body with Megan Fox as a leading actress. Jennifer is the 4th episode season 1 of Masters of Horror TV series directed by Dario Argento in 2005. The movie starts with the scene of 2 cops having their lunch in a car when they suddenly witness a scene of domestic violence. A man tries to kill his woman with a meat cleaver. One of the cops named Frank shoots a crazy man and his last word was a woman's name, which is Jennifer. When she gratefully hugs him, Frank is horrified by her ugly, disfigured face, but kind of attracted to her perfect body. He lives happily with his wife and a teenage son when their life gets destroyed by Jennifer as Frank craves to help her after collecting from mental hospital and gives a shelter within his house. An animal attraction and tension grows between two before Jennifer finally manages to seduce Frank. Later he starts to realize that she is not what she seems to be, not that innocent victim he saved once, but a vengeful, jealous monster killing his family. Despite all the hate he feels for her now and an attempt to put her into freak circus, he cries of wanting her and escapes together to the house in the forest to start a completely new life. But will they succeed? You definitely want to find out. Now my number 9, which is from the same series of Masters of Horror and the last one in this block, Dance of the Dead. The 3rd episode, season 1, directed by Toby Hooper in 2005. A post-apocalyptic criminal city full of chaos, drugs and sins, controlled by people who are able to provide you with a mind-blowing entertainment, is a contrast to a small calm family business run by mother and her daughter Peggy, who never goes out and lives her introvert life. Everything changes when 4 criminal visitors come to have a coffee at their cafe. Jack, one of them, falls in love with Peggy and that feeling becomes mutual. A girl doesn't know that Jack and his friend are blood dealers of a nightclub where a crazy scientist revives dead people and makes them dance in front of the crowd. Though she agrees to go out with him, escapes her home and finds herself watching the show, when suddenly realizes it is her missing dead sister dancing on the stage. Her mother desperately tries to find her, and when she does, finds both of her daughters on the street in the company of criminals and the club owner, who tells the ugly truth about the money he paid her to buy Peggy's sister's body. Will there be justice in the end? Check it. Overall, I highly recommend you to watch all the episodes of Masters of Horror, cause it's a tasty cocktail of various horrors made by notable movie directors. Between them are Guillermo del Toro, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, Rob Zombie and many others. Each movie is not longer than 60 minutes, which makes it really easy to watch. Number 8. MidSummer, or MidSummer in English, directed by Ari Aster in 2019, a super creative mind with an incredible attention to details. This movie starts with a huge life tragedy of Danny, who goes through the crisis with her partner when finds out her mentally ill sister commits a suicide and before that kills both of her parents. The world of Danny is in ruins, and when it seems to be impossible to get worse, it actually does, because Christian, her partner, shows a misunderstanding and non-supportive attitude. Later, he decides to go for a 9-day MidSummer festival to Sweden with his uni mates, and as an option he was not going to use, takes Danny with them. In Sweden, they get to the commune where everyone seems to be extremely friendly, dressed in white and smiling. They eat and drink together, sing and pray, though later young people realize that behind the beautiful picture and image of the happy summer festival, there are ugly rituals commune people are committed to. So all the sacrificial murders and suicides are accepted as normal. It is their lifestyle, and every tourist was brought here to become a part of it. When everyone understands what is going on, it is already too late to escape. While Danny goes through the hardest times of her life, she finally feels she is not alone and step by step feels like finding a new family, while Christian follows his demons and falls deeper into the abyss. Where they will find themselves by the end of this masterpiece, this is the question. Number 7 is the movie The Others, directed by Alejandro Amenabar in 2001. This is a definitely different kind of the story about ghosts and poltergeists. Grace lives her life together with her 2 little children in a big house where one rule is essential for all: to keep all the curtains closed because the daylight may harm her kids. So when the team of 3 servants arrive, she makes sure they are aware of it, though they might know something more than that. Once Grace's little daughter tells her a story about a boy, Victor, who lives at their house together with them, but no one else can see him. Victor says the family needs to immediately leave the house. Grace refuses it, but somehow gets terrified there's a ghost living with them. Lots of weird things happen before a little girl discovers a few graves by house with names of their servants on them. After they get too scared, the servants approach their house to tell them the shocking truth. The end is very unexpected, but trust me, you want to discover the truth yourselves. And the symbolic position number 6 goes to Sinister, directed by Scott Derrickson in not less symbolic year of 2012. The movie begins with a videotape recording of a horrifying scene. A family murdered by hanging. The picture stays on your screens longer than you would expect. As usual beginning of a terrifying story, we see a happy successful family of a writer, Allison, moving into a big beautiful house. Into the house where the murder by hanging took place, and only Allison knew that. His passion for writing overtakes his mind and he puts his family in danger when finds multiple video records in the attic of his house, where he spends his whiskey nights and watches different scenes of whole families being murdered in various ways. He also notices a weird figure on each of these videos. Occult specialist reveals to Allison that the symbol he sees in the videos belongs to an ancient and obscure pagan deity Bogul, who is able to possess children through their ritual images and kills entire families while taking one of their children. This is a ritual which connects all the families, as it turned out that every murdered family had once lived in the house where the previous murder took place. Allison's family is not the exception. Will they survive? Number 5. The middle of my top belongs to The Autopsy of Jane Doe, directed in 2016 by Norwegian film director André Ovredal. A family of a father and son run in their private morgue, get the body of an unidentified woman found by officers at a place of multiple homicides. They need to find out the reason of her death by morning. Soon both get very confused because from the outside the body looks perfect but scarred, burned and harmed from the inside. The blood runs out and everything tells them that she was a victim of some kind of a ritual and actually seems to be still alive from within. The way she was buried turned out to be a ritual to paralyze and kill witches in Salem back in 1693, while realizing they were performing the autopsy of a witch who craves for the revenge and felt everything a father offers himself as a victim to save his son. Will she accept this offer? Number 4 goes to The Haunting in Connecticut, directed by Peter Cornwell in 2009 and based on a real story, and this is what makes this movie different from all the previous ones. In 1987, a family moves closer to the hospital where their son Matt needs to undergo cancer treatments. As his new room, Matt chooses the basement and discovers a mysterious door. Shortly after that, he has visions of a bearded doctor carving letters on the skin of dead bodies. Soon they learn that the house they are living in now was a funeral home, and behind the mysterious door there was a mortuary. All the visions of Matt become worrying, and his family thinks it is connected to his illness, though a boy sees real pictures and real ghosts from the past. The bearded man Aikman was involved into seances of spiritualism and used the young boy Jonah as a medium. Once an evil spirit went out of the mouth of Jonah, everyone died, and the boy himself got cremated alive. Being also obsessed with necromancy, Aikman did a huge mistake trying to control the dead and bind them to the house. This evil spirit now wanted to get Matt's family, and Jonah tried to protect them. What you will see in the end, be prepared for it, and my recommendation is do not watch it alone in the dark. Alrighty, so we have slowly moved to my top 3 scariest movies of the 21st century. I still have a lot of popcorn left. It means that I will check these movies together with you. I'm pretty sure that my number 3 is number 1 for many of you, or at least it was before you watched my video, because we are moving to The Conjuring, a movie created by almighty James Wan in 2013, based on a true story. The movie starts with Annabelle Case. I bet you all know that creepy doll, and 2 worldwide famous paranormal investigators appear on your screens, Ed and Lorraine Warrens. 1971, a happy couple moves into their new home with their 5 daughters. This is the movie where you don't have to wait long before something happens. So paranormal stuff disturbs the family since the first night. The clock stops at 3:07 a.m. Birds fly into windows, evil spirits seems to be present. Caroline, a mother of 5, calls Warrens, who have recently solved the Annabelle case, to investigate what happens in their house and help her family. Soon Lorraine sees spirits who wouldn't leave the family in peace even if they would abandon the house. While investigation takes place, Caroline gets possessed by an evil spirit of the witch Bathsheba, who sacrificed her newborn baby to the devil in 1863 and killed herself exactly at 3:07 a.m., cursing each and everyone who will take her land. The exorcism of that evil spirit takes place in the basement of the house. Honestly, I could barely watch it, and super realistic makeup made it even harder. Let's see if you will manage to get to the end. Honestly, I remember I was already a grown-up girl, something between 20 and 21 years old, but I couldn't fall asleep, and the first time I watched this movie again was a few or even 5 years later. What comes to my silver and gold medals, I have to be honest with you, because I didn't know till the last second which one should I put as my number 2 or as my number 1 before I actually watched them again. And when I did it, it was pretty clear for me which one is the silver one. So ladies and gentlemen, this is another masterpiece created by James Wan in 2006, and it is called Dead Silence, a movie closely connected to the previous topic of my video about the fear of dolls, about the phobia. So if you're really afraid of these creatures, you should never watch this movie, because even if I'm not, I was scared like hell and I couldn't pass the dolls by. A married couple where a lady is pregnant receives a weird and honestly horrifying present, and as for me, Billy, their new doll, looks creepier than Annabelle. I have no idea what made them leave the doll within the house, but it was their biggest mistake, as Billy kills a young woman soon after. As police suspect a poor man in this crime, he thinks there must be something about this doll and decides to investigate what happened to his wife for real. Jamie goes to visit his wealthy father and young stepmother to his hometown, where Mary Shaw, a ventriloquist and owner of Billy, has lived. Later he finds the grave of Mary as well as of Billy and buries him there. It turned out that once Mary was used to perform in theater, and one of the boys humiliated her, telling that he sees her lips are moving and the doll is not real. When the boy got missing, his family accused and killed Mary, made her scream and cut her tongue out. She wanted to be buried together with her 101 doll and herself looking like one of them. Since then, she seeks for revenge, killing all those who break the silence, especially the bloodline of the missing boy. One of those is Jamie. To prove his innocence, he goes to the theater of Mary Shaw and finds all of her 100 dolls and the instruction of how to create a perfect doll. I must say the end is massive, so watch it and find out what was meant under the concept of a perfect doll. Gold, platinum, whatever medal, actually all of the diamonds I would give to the French movie director Pascal Laugier, who created a movie called Santange in 2004, and to be honest with you, I had to really force myself to watch it again, because I didn't do this for at least 10 years. And even if you're thinking that the movie itself is not that scary, but you have to watch it until the very end, because the pictures you will see there will stay with you forever. It was the year of 1958 when a young lady, Anna, moves to the isolated orphanage to work as a housekeeper. She has to hide her pregnancy from Madame Francard, her employer, and ties her waist to make the belly seem flat. After the mysterious death of a little boy in the bathroom, all the kids are sent elsewhere and orphanage is under the threat of closure. Now there's only Anna, Judith, the only survivor between orphans brought to Santange during World War II, who suffers from mental disability, and Helenka, a Polish cook staying there. Anna witnesses some paranormal activity within the building and later finds the documents of dead children and suspects they got killed by the orphanage team and bodies are still there, hidden somewhere. Judith tells her that she sees them, knows they are within these walls, and tries to remember where the orphanage team has put them. Together, girls go to discover the abandoned dormitory behind the bathroom's mirror but do not succeed, and later Anna decides to move on alone. When she goes underground, she gets into a place with white walls and hospital-like. Children start to rise from murky baths and approach her. All the rest of the movie is up to you to watch. I wouldn't dare to do that again now. As I see, there is a strong connection between the murder of children and concentration camps created by Nazis during the World War II. So this is something humanity should never go through again. This is it. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope I did inspire you to watch any of these movies and you've seen something more than just a horror movie. So good night, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, because otherwise the bull will come after you. And I promise it will only get darker from now on. Your Huntress.